You cleaned your bathroom on Saturday. By Tuesday, it already looks grimy again. You're not doing it wrong, you're just using the wrong system. Japan has a completely different relationship with home cleaning, and 5 of their most practical tricks are about to change how your whole home feels. Let's start with trick number 1, and it's so simple it's almost annoying. In Japan, the moment you step inside a home, you take your shoes off, not as a suggestion, but as a structural rule built into the architecture itself. The entryway, called the genken, is a small sunken zone right at the front door. It's a physical boundary between outside and inside, and everything that belongs to the outside world, dirt, bacteria, whatever the street left on your soles, stays there. It never makes it past that threshold. Think about what that means for your floors. Outdoor shoes carry an extraordinary amount of debris, and when you walk them through your home, that debris spreads to every room. The genken eliminates that at the source. You don't need to scrub it back later, because it never got in. You don't need a sunken entryway to make this work. Pick a spot right at your front door, a small mat, a shoe rack, a tray, and treat it as your genken zone. Shoes come off there and stay there. That one habit alone cuts the amount of dirt cycling through your home dramatically, which means less mopping, less vacuuming, less of that Saturday to Tuesday decay the hook described. That's it. That's the whole trick. The philosophy is containment. Stop the problem at the door rather than chasing it through every room. Trick number 2 lives in your bathroom, and it takes 30 seconds. After every shower, before you step out, you run a squeegee down the walls and across the glass. Top to bottom, 1 pass per panel. Done. The reason Japanese bathrooms stay remarkably clean despite heavy daily use isn't some exotic cleaning product. It's this habit, repeated consistently. Soap scum and mold don't appear overnight. They build up because water is left sitting on surfaces long enough to do damage. The squeegee removes that water before it has the chance. You're not cleaning a problem, you're preventing one from ever forming. A squeegee costs almost nothing, hangs on a hook inside the shower, and requires 0 extra time if you build it into the moment you're already standing there finishing up. That's the system. Prevention over reaction. Trick number 3 is where the Japanese concept of kaizen, which translates roughly to small, continuous improvement, becomes something you can actually feel in your hands. Japanese housekeepers use an old toothbrush not as a once-a-month deep clean tool, but as a daily precision instrument. Grout lines, tile edges, the base of a faucet, the corners where your sink meets the counter. These are the spots that collect grime and are too narrow for a regular cloth to reach. During a daily wipe down, a toothbrush hits those spots in seconds. The key word is daily. When you address a grout line every day, there's nothing to scrub. The grime never gets a foothold. Compare that to the Western approach. Ignore those spots for weeks, then spend 20 frustrated minutes with a stiff brush trying to remove buildup that's had time to harden. Kaizen argues that the second approach isn't just more work, it's a worse outcome for more effort. Small, consistent action beats periodic bursts of effort every single time. Keep a used toothbrush under your sink. The next time you wipe down your bathroom, spend 30 extra seconds on the edges and grout. Not a deep clean, just maintenance so small it barely registers. Here's what these first 3 tricks have in common. They're all about prevention. You're not cleaning, you're stopping the mess before it needs cleaning. The next 2 tricks work differently. They're about the reset, what you do to keep a space feeling ordered even when life inevitably gets ahead of you. Of the first 3 tricks, the genken, the squeegee, and the toothbrush, which one are you actually going to try first? Drop your answer in the comments below. Now let's get into the reset half, starting with trick number 4. That reset half starts with something most Western homes quietly sabotage every single day, and you probably don't even notice it's happening. Look around your kitchen right now. The counter by the stove. What's on it? A fruit bowl, maybe? A stack of mail? A bottle of olive oil, some keys, a phone charger, a candle you lit once. None of those things belong to the counter. They just landed there, and now the counter belongs to them. Trick number 4 is the Japanese concept of MA, which translates roughly to negative space, or meaningful emptiness, an interval or gap that carries as much weight as what surrounds it. In Japanese homes, surfaces aren't storage. Every surface has a single defined purpose and nothing else lives on it. The kitchen counter is for food preparation. The bathroom shelf is for things you use in the bathroom today. The entryway ledge, if there is one, holds keys. Nothing else. That's it. This isn't minimalism for the sake of aesthetics. It's a cleaning decision. When a surface has one purpose and nothing extra on it, wiping it down takes about 4 seconds. You're not moving objects, you're not deciding what stays and what goes, you're not wiping around a maze of things that shouldn't be there. You just wipe. The surface is clean in a single pass because there was never anything on it to complicate the job. Here's how to audit this without overhauling your entire home at once. Pick one surface, just one. Look at everything on it and ask a single question. Does this object live here because it's used here, or did it land here because it was convenient? Move the landers. You don't have to throw them away, find them a proper home or a drawer or a box. Then wipe that surface. Notice how fast it was? That's your baseline. One surface at a time, you rebuild the habit and daily maintenance starts to feel almost effortless because you're no longer fighting clutter to get to the actual cleaning. Trick number 5 is called Osuji, big cleaning, and Japan has practiced it for centuries. Traditionally, it happens at the end of the year. A thorough, room-by-room audit of the entire home, done with intention before the new year begins. But here's what makes Osuji different from the panicked, deep clean most people do when guests are coming over in 2 hours. It isn't reactive, it's scheduled, it runs on a checklist, it covers the things daily maintenance doesn't touch, the tops of cabinets, the insides of drawers, the grout you haven't looked at since last season, the space behind the refrigerator. Not because the home is a disaster, but because a quarterly audit prevents it from ever becoming one. Adapt this as a quarterly habit. 4 times a year, block out 2 or 3 hours and work room by room with a written list. The list matters. It removes the decision fatigue of figuring out what to tackle, and it gives you a clear endpoint. You're not cleaning until you're tired, you're cleaning until the list is done. That's a fundamentally different relationship with the task. And that brings the whole system together. Look at all 5 tricks: the genken, the squeegee, the toothbrush, the ma audit, the Osuji reset. None of them require more time than what you're already spending. What they require is a different relationship with cleaning, one where you stop reacting to mess and start preventing it. Japan doesn't have cleaner homes because people there work harder at cleaning. They have cleaner homes because the system is built so the mess never fully arrives. That's the shift. Not more effort, a smarter structure, and now you have it. Subscribe for more like this, and watch the next one on screen.